This is the #1 dash cam on the market right now. It's got 4K recording and night vision, but it costs 3 times as much as the next best dash cam that I had my eyes on. Now, I'm not sponsored by Blackview, so that means I actually paid 3 times more than I could have paid to get a different and cheaper dash cam. So I ultimately decided that the DR900X was the only dash cam worth getting despite the $700 price tag. I justified this purchase as being legitimate because I'll cover that later in the video, but that reason won't be enough to necessarily convince you why you should get the Blackview Dashcam 2, but I'm going to focus on convincing you that this is indeed the best dashcam on the market, but it'll be up to you to see if it's worth the price point of $700. In this video, we're going to be focusing on doing the unboxing. So this is just first impressions, cracking open the box, and to see how this company portrays its #1 dashcam on the market, its flagship device, its greatest thing. The DR900X is a 4K dashcam that comes in a couple of different form factors. You can get the front-facing dashcam, which is the 4K version, which shows you what's going on in front by itself, or you can get that plus the rear-facing dashcam, or you can get the front-facing dashcam plus the cabin-facing dashcam, which shows you what's going on in your car. For my use, I wanted to get the 4K front camera along with the interior infrared camera so that we can see inside the car, both in the daytime and at night. My specific use case for getting this dashcam doesn't really include me needing to have a video feed of what's going on behind me. On the side of the box, we have a pretty sweet list of features for the Blackview dashcam. It's a 4K ultra high definition camera that works at 30 frames per second, with the back of the camera coming in at a full HD with the same amount of frames. The front camera uses an 8 megapixel sensor, with the rear camera using a 2-point Sony Starvis CMOS sensor. I know, a lot of words. Unless you're a nerd like me, just understand that Sony is also the company responsible for the cameras on the iPhone, so you can expect a high level of image quality coming from the sensor. It also supports Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LTE data connections, GPS, which enables some pretty spicy geolocation features that we'll touch on a little later. Due to the varying conditions that can be found inside of your normal car, the Blackview dashcam has the ability to turn itself off if it finds that the car battery is running lower than expected. It'll even turn itself off to protect itself if it's getting too hot. Like I said earlier, this dashcam is no slouch when it comes to pricing, so having features that both protect the device itself plus the car, I think it's an added bonus. Other features include loop recording, which helps you save on memory space, intelligent parking mode, which I probably won't understand until I get it hooked up. It has impact detection, motion detection, time-lapse recording, overwrite protection, and their app is both compatible with Android and iOS. And there's even a way to check in on your camera through your desktop or a computer or a laptop or whatever it is. You can access it through your web browser. It even comes with a suite of cloud-based features, including a way to talk to the driver or passengers using your smartphone or computer. You got remote video playback, live view, GPS tracking, driving reports, remote software upgrades, and even geofencing, which creates a virtual boundary on the map that triggers notifications when crossed. You know, if your kids are going somewhere and they shouldn't be going somewhere in your car. Blackview has included all of it in their dashcam. Like, this is a feature-rich product. If we take a peek at the bottom of the box, there's a warning that says you should not accept that the seal is broken, which was a little concerning since I received the box with the seal already broken on both sides. However, I wasn't too worried for a couple reasons. First, the box stated that I had ordered the 32GB version, even though I paid for the 256GB version. You can clearly see that I got what I paid for, so they must have opened it up to take out the 32GB memory card, and the cardboard box says that I got the rear-facing camera instead of the inside cabin camera for the car, which is what I paid for. So I assume they also swapped that out too. And not to my surprise, I was right. So I got the proper memory card plus the 32 gigs, so I got 2 memory cards, and I got the cabin-facing dash cam instead of the back where the trunk is dash cam, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Another thing that came into the box that was really surprising to me was the like button. You know, the one that you smash to help promote this video so that I can become famous and that other people can see this and use this and make an educated purchase based off of their dash cam needs. So go ahead, smash that like button. I won't ask you again in this video, I promise. Thanks. Alright, so once I opened up the box, I could immediately tell that I had received the right set of dash cams. The big one was obviously the 4K Ultra HD version, and you can clearly see that the smaller cabin dash cam has infrared lights on it. That makes it, it's the technology that makes it visible at night. So feeling really assured that all was well with my order, I immediately started to realize that the quality of these bad boys was nothing short of amazing, right? Both dash cams came with camera covers for protection, which wasn't something I expected. The infrared dash cam cover, while durable, popped off pretty easily, but the cover for the main camera was well thought out to the point where I initially thought it would just come right off, but it didn't. It was like really tightly secured. The main camera felt really solid in the hand despite its plastic construction. It felt more like the type of material used in like a flagship phone by Samsung or Apple compared to like a cheap plastic feel, even though it is made out of plastic. It's very solid in terms of weight too for its size. The back of it comes with 3M sticky tape, which we can probably all agree is the industry leader when it comes to getting sticky. I didn't know what the Petasoft branding was, but apparently that's the name for the parent company that owns Blackview. See, I didn't know that. I wish they didn't have that there, but thankfully you won't really be able to see it once you've added it to your windshield. So not really concerned with it, but I'm not big on branding. I'm not big on these companies slapping their advertising on the products. It makes sense. I understand it. Not a fan of it. Don't even know this parent company. If it was just Blackview, I would have been whatever, but just a side note. But speaking of things that I wish I couldn't see once the dash cam has been added to your windshield, is going to be the indicators for recording and GPS. It's facing, you know, the back, so it's more light pollution when you're driving. I'm not a fan. I ended up placing this behind my mirror, so I don't have to deal with all that light pollution, so it's not too bad. Looking at the main camera, it's so well constructed, it's hard to realize it's actually two pieces. The part that read Blackview Cloud 4K UHD is actually the holder. It's like a little slot thing. That means that you'll be able to move around the dash cam without removing the sticky bits from the windshield, so you can pop it in and out. It's also important to note that the locking mechanism for the holder is top notch. Like, all puns intended, it uses notches. The locking mechanism literally features like a slot that circumvents the entire dash cam. It makes it very easy to adjust your vertical angles while making sure that your camera is always horizontally aligned correctly. Now, you can't adjust your horizontal, so you have to make sure you stick it correctly. The infrared camera isn't as feature rich as the rest of the hardware comparatively. It doesn't come with a locking mechanism because all of its components are permanently locked together. That's pretty much all that's worth saying about it physically speaking outside of the IR blasters, which, you know, we can talk about that now. I promised that I would explain to you my specific reasoning for getting these, and I'm going to start with the fact that I'm creating a YouTube podcast channel called Lifted Stories, where I share with you the craziness that happens in my daily life while I'm picking up passengers for rideshare. I'm going to have that link below if you're interested. Subscribe. There's going to be some great stuff coming. With everything I do, I try to make sure that the quality is as top-notch as possible, and the IR blasters allow for video recording at night without a light source, which if you're into photography, you know it's very difficult to capture a good picture at night. I watched as many videos as I could to find the quality of the infrared recordings, and Blackview's quality was by far the best that I could find on the market. I will be posting some video clips for you to see what I'm talking about once I get this set up. For now, let's move forward with the actual unboxing. Underneath the main dash cam is a little soft protection pad that I assume keeps it stabilized while the Amazon employees store your packaging around. Beyond that, there's manuals for all three versions of the dash cam. The one that's pictured just above the 4K UHD version is the rear dash cam, that's not to be confused with the infrared dash cam. But side note, I was pretty impressed that the manual is in color. You know, that's not something that just happens very often. So I was pretty pleased to see that it's in color. Didn't have to do it. Under the paperwork, we are greeted with these two little flaps that I super struggled to take out with just one hand, so there's that. I didn't expect it to be enclosed. I thought it would just reveal what was underneath it instead, but what can I say? The packaging had me surprised. The packaging included power cables as well as cable management hooks with sticky tape by 3M again. Shameless plug there. I don't know why I'm shamelessly plugging the one who's not paying my bills, but this one power cable for the infrared dash cam, you can connect it to the main 4K UHD dash cam. This package gives you the option of hardwiring it to your car's power source, your battery, or just using the charger port. I'm assuming that hard wiring is better for your car, and the features that it has probably works better if you hardwire it, but having the option to not have to figure out how to do all of that if you don't want to is nice, right? So you can just plug, play, and go, get out of here. All right, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the full review that I plan on doing. I have been using it and it's been very great, but there was something that popped up that made me feel almost like I wasted all my money. And if you want to know what that is, you're gonna have to subscribe and you're gonna have to watch the full review. So that'll be coming out in like a week. So, I'll see you then.